All right.
No.
Third time's a charm. Stephanie, could you in a few words describe the 22-23 season for me?
I would say a learning experience. Just fighting through adversity and being able to stay together as a team through a lot of ups and downs and challenges and stuff.
So the 22-23 season, in my own words, I would say was hectic. Like, I would love to say that we were a talented group, but there was a lot of outside factors that really played and had an effect in our season.
Coach, this is your 5th year with the program, first year under Howard. What is your feeling going from last year and trying to rebuild the program into this year?
Well, we've had all excellent coaches. In my opinion, Coach Howard, we're so blessed to have. He's got an incredible amount of NCAA experience, including at the highest levels, and he creates a culture of positivity. He's an amazing teacher, and so it is just awesome to work side by side with him.
So as a new coaching staff, I think that we are working to build something great here. And the biggest thing when it comes to the expectations for the program, it's bringing these girls together. We have a great group of athletes and students who work really hard every time they lace up their shoes, and getting them to see their full potential and see what they're capable of, and us as new coaches trying to get them to see their worth on the floor. And then for us, being a new coaching staff, I think it's super important that we take every day with a new stride, and we are constantly working and to get better and constantly learning about each individual on our team and knowing them as humans first and then basketball players.
Well, one of the biggest things is teaching. I think when you're a new coach taking over a new program, the first thing is trying to get them to understand your concepts and the things that you're trying to bring defensively. It's going to take time because everyone teaches differently. I'm a defensive-minded coach that's looking to hold teams, below 56 points per game. And I think, in implementing some of the things that we have that I've done in the past is going to be very key here with this new team.
Now, this is a squad that's built up with some great experience, some players that maybe don't have the experience but have been around and know the culture, as well as some first-year players. So what's some of the potential struggles to manage this group and get them ready for games?
Like every team, you bring in so many different personalities. And so getting everyone to buy into what us as coaches are trying to do, and the shift in the culture that we want to make going forward. We do have a lot of experience, which is great, and the newcomers coming in are adding different skills and talents to our puzzle that we're trying to create. And so understanding that we have to value each and every puzzle piece in order to build the masterpiece that we're looking to build.
Well, I think on paper it looks like you have youth. But when I look at roster, I see a lot of upperclassmen. Either, it looks like you have 2 seniors, but then there's like 7 kids that's juniors, and that's almost 9 kids, but, those kids might not have had those opportunities. They might have had it in a different system. So we have to take the experience and try to add the experience with the 4 new players that we brought in. But youth is always hard, especially when you have freshmen in any conference. It takes time to get up to game speed, understanding the strengths, the weaknesses, the nuances of other teams and what they are doing. So I think we're going to have to lean big on our upperclassmen who have played college games and hope that they can carry us through the first half of the season.
Well, our young women are coming from many different directions, and so we now have to blend returning players with some outstanding freshmen, an excellent transfer, and so just getting them to play what is definitely a new system. And so those are, I think, some of the most significant challenges for us, but they're just exciting ones because this is a great group of young women and they really absorb what they're being taught.
What are some specific areas of growth or development you've seen in your short time here during preseason?
Well, that's a very good question. I've seen them come together a little bit, understanding that you can't do it. I don't believe in I's. I believe in we. We as a group can do all things together. And I see them buying in a little bit more now, understanding that in the past you might have done something different. The ball might have stuck. We have to get all 5 players involved on the offensive end. We have to get all 5 players involved on the defensive end. So I think seeing them as we getting closer to the season, I'm really proud of them locking in and buying into the concepts.
It's a new coach, so it's like more confidence. Like there's no like pressure. Just going into a different coaching style and how he works. Just seeing like things we needed and how we can come together versus like, I guess, having pressure from last year. It's just like a clean slate, so starting over again.
Well, I think our emphasis on our style of play will be a little bit different this year, if not a lot different. And I think we're going to win a lot of games based on our defensive performance and our defensive mindset. And so that's exciting because I see these young women really picking it up and really embracing that aspect of the game.
Yeah, we're painting a picture to win. Like that's where we're at right now. We want to build something here that is worth talking about. And we want to make Bridgeport known for the women's basketball team. And that's started since the first day that I met Coach. The first day that I met the girls, they all bought into what he was trying to do. And Coach Vincent and we've bought into what he's trying to do as well. And he has such a great experience and such a great background of knowledge of the game that every time I walk into the gym, I'm learning something new as a first-year coach. And so having that mentality that if I'm learning something new, I know these girls are learning something new too. So this program, we are painting the picture, and it is a work in progress, and we are just we're making those steps forward every single day.
From the end of last year to right now, I feel like we're a more focused group. Like I feel like we all know we have a common goal. Obviously that's to win, but like our common goal is to come together because like without each other we can't play.
This coaching staff is its first year together.
Mm-hmm.
All the pieces. How has that been, that process of getting together, building out this coaching staff, and being able to implement a plan for this program?
Well, I think it's been very tough because you're coming in and you're trying to put pieces together as a coaching staff, and you're looking around the country trying to find who would fit, but then you have to break that down and come into a geographical area just because of other things that's factoring into. So we were lucky enough to find, a young lady who had played here locally at Fairfield University to be able to come on and be able to help us. And then we were able to retain Coach Vince, who has been here almost like 5 years now. But it's a big difference. So you're trying to teach them your concepts, the things that you like done, how you like it done. You're trying to get to know what their strong suits are and be able to collaborate everyone's strengths with some of our weaknesses to make us as a coaching staff a lot better. As of right now, I see them coming on and them starting to understand the things that I like, the way I like to do it, and that I'm a positive, motivating coach to motivate players and coaches. So I think everything's starting to come together a little bit.
I think all three of us, we have come together as a united group. And even though each and every one of us have different backgrounds and different experiences, we have taken it with the understanding that we are going to learn from each other, and that my experience as a first year coach, but also a college athlete, has weight to it. And Coach Vince, knowing the system here, knowing the girls here, he has added so much value to what we are able to do as a new coaching staff. And Coach Howard, I mean, he came from Georgetown. He knows the game. He understands the game. And he is looking to build something special here. And us as coaches, we've bought into what he's doing, and he's bought into us as his assistants.
Well, again, Coach Howard has just been an absolute blessing, and everybody, he's new to the Bridgeport area. Everybody who meets him loves him. And Coach Morelli, you know, she played Division I at Fairfield University, a young woman that teaches in the Bridgeport schools. And so both of them just have such an incredible work ethic and such a wonderful way of dealing with our young women. So to me, I'm just thrilled to work with both of them.
During this preseason, are there any examples where you've seen growth or development within the team?
I would say our last scrimmage, we played Albertus, and that game was just all positives. Like, first half, we didn't play as good, but second half, like, we came together and was cheering each other on. Like, everything was, like, up. Everybody was up. People, like, got down on themselves, but we were able to pick them back up, and, like, we were able to finish the game and, like, win. So that was, like, one moment I felt like was really good for us.
Well, I think come together is a key word there, because that's going to be the most important thing. That this team has two things within our control. One, we can be the hardest working team in America. And two, when we take that floor, we can be the most together team in America. And if we accomplish both of those things, we will be amazingly successful.
Yeah, I mean, we had two scrimmages to start off the year, and we walked away from our second scrimmage seeing a lot of good. And the way that we are able to execute off of drawn up plays it is something that different schools have a difficult time doing. And our girls sat there, coach drew up a play, and they went out there and they ran it perfectly. And so understanding that, like, that's symbolic of them trusting coach and trusting us as coaches. And that is huge. That goes a long way as a team and building that unity and that togetherness.
Yes, in our last scrimmage, there in the first half, we were playing a team, and we gave up a lot of penetration, and we was undisciplined on moving our feet without reaching. And I thought in the second half, after talking to them at the half and making adjustments, I thought they really started to buy in, and I started to see them get into their gap play. And then we started to get steals. And then you could see the excitement come on their faces, knowing that, wow, this stuff works if we do what he says, you know. So the bench got excited about the defense and being in their gaps and being where they're supposed to be and getting, you know, good layups and opportunities that way. I think when it's all said and done, it takes time to paint your picture. It took time for Picasso to paint that great painting. It's going to take time for us to have that great defense, but the buy-in and who's painting it is the key.
So in this team, some areas of development that I've seen are, like, we're a lot more vocal this year. So I feel like speaking off the court, on the court, defense, offense, we're always talking. Like, sometimes it may be low, but, like, when we're talking, it's good. Like, the energy's good, everything's flowing. Yeah.
What makes this group special to you?
I would say all the pieces we have. Like, everybody is capable of doing, like, amazing things. Like, the potential we have for this year. And, like, I'm really confident in this group that we'll make it far. Like, everybody is together.
I mean, this group of girls, they're my first, you know? Like, they're the first group of college athletes that I'm ever going to coach. I'm never going to have my first group ever again. And so we have such, I said it before, like we have such different personalities, but we are able to take all those personalities and put them towards the love for a game. And having this group, they are such an amazing work. They have such an amazing work ethic that is going to take them really far.
Well, I think what makes them special is that they've been through, some been through, this their third coach. And others, you know, it's a new beginning. And if you're still here, I think that makes you special. I think any young lady could have decided to move on, and they decided to stay. So I see a special person in those players. I believe that they had a commitment, they trusted in that next coach without knowing a lot about that next coach. So I think their camaraderie of being together, being around one another, and then taking that chance on, you know, the new coach.
So I think this group is special because a lot of us, I feel like this year we're more focused on coming together, like I previously said. So us coming together is such a big, like, it's a prominent factor. So, like, we're obviously all of us have talent. Like that's a given. Like, of course, I would hope you recruit people with talent. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like us coming together is going to be the biggest contribution to this season.
Well, it's great to have a mix, you know, of incoming freshmen that we're introducing to the area and to the university. And then we have a fifth-year senior in Steph, our leader. And my first year working with this team, Steph was a freshman, and I worked with the Bigs that year. So she's just a wonderful young woman, and it's really special for me to see her lead and to see her now coming off 2 years in a row and she was recognized as all conference. And so I just can't wait to see her and her teammates on the floor this year.
Very simple, Coach. What's the goal for you in this upcoming 23-24 season?
I think the goal is to try to bring back some type of winning tradition for these seniors. Try to go further than they went last year. I don't ever want to put pressure on a team because you're trying to get to know a team. They get to learning how to play together, how to defend. But I think if we can win one more game than we won last year, and we do it in a positive way, and if we can make a run at getting into the CAC playoffs, the four that usually go in the postseason there to be able to play in the tournament, I think that would be major for us. So we're doing small building blocks, and I think, you know, for the seniors of, you know, the Stephanies and all of those young ladies and the Tara and all of them would be a great way to finish it, knowing that before they left here, they had a chance to compete in the tournament.
Well, I think the goal is to get these young women to play up to their potential. And if they play up to their potential, does that amount to X number of wins? Does it amount to a conference championship? Does it amount to an NCAA bid? Any of those things are within our grasp. And our job as coaches is to get these young women to reach that potential.
We want to win. We want to win. We're here to make a change and to make a difference in not only our program, but the university. I think that one of the biggest goals is to give these girls a platform to stand on. And as a former college athlete, I understand the importance of having that platform and having that voice and being confident in your voice. And so it's not only, for me anyways, it's not only about the wins. It's about when we do win, these girls have the confidence to speak. And for women in our culture right now, I want them to speak. I want them to use their voice. I want them to advocate for themselves. And their love for basketball is rooted in their ability to do that.
The goal this year, obviously to win, but I feel like to be a family on and off the court is really our goal. Cause obviously, being a family, it's so much more than just a word. like that sisterhood, that bond, that's gonna take us so far. Like whether we know it now or whether we know it later, that sisterhood is gonna take us so far throughout the season.
To win a championship and to get our name on one of these banners, for sure.